right. Good Monday morning, everyone. Happy November 1st. It is National Authors Day. And what better way to celebrate it than listening to Author Talk? What? Oh, my goodness. Been listening to Author Talk. So you guys know me, Amy, here with Sandy Russell, and our lovely guest today is Mac Little. So everyone, hey, how are you guys doing? How was your Halloween? Did everyone have a good
What'd
Halloween?
you forget, Mac? You just went crazy forgetting something. What'd you forget?
No, Alexa reminds me to get up every hour, but she's not very kind about it.
Oh my goodness! Why she gotta be so mean? Oh, that's just that Alexa is just rude. Did everybody have a good Halloween? Did you see any cute trick-or-treaters or anything like that?
I had the cutest little boy. It really was dressed as Spider-Man. And he had some difficulty deciding what kind of candy he wanted. And when he started to leave, it was just him and his mom. And when he started to leave, and I said, "See you later, Superman." And I'm like, "Or is it Superboy?" And he goes, "It's Aiden."
Oh, cute little thing.
What's that?
That's his name. His real name.
Oh, that's his real name.
Well, I like to think that I had the cutest ones. I had Bingo and Bluey. And if any parent of young kids knows, this is an amazing Australian show on Disney that I absolutely love. But I would say my best costume, I mean, besides my kids, because they're adorable, is going to be Josh's costume. Okay? Like, let's just be honest. I don't even know what this is, but this is how he went.
Looks like Josh has gained a little tummy there. Recently, what's happened to Josh?
I don't know what he decided to do. This was what he did, but what we did is because we weren't at our house to see all the little trick-or-treaters because we were taking ours, we took candy with us and passed it out as we were walking, going trick-or-treating. So that was kind of our Halloween in a nutshell. But I will say, my neighborhood was the place to be because they had trick-or-treat for little kids with the candy and stuff, but then they had the adult trick-or-treat with Jell-O shots, margaritas.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't just one house, okay? Hey, Diamond, it wasn't just one house. We're talking, I think in our neighborhood Facebook group, I think it was like 13, 14 houses. And you know I had to hit those up. But one lady was pouring margaritas. I was like, that is where I'm going first.
Oh my God.
Can I tell you,
go trick-or-treating in your neighborhood.
These next few years will be the greatest Halloweens you'll ever have. Better than anything you've ever had before, and you will never have them again.
Well,
because of her kids, you mean?
Yeah, because they're so little.
Her kids, friends, parents, the whole thing.
My daughter's gone off to college, and we don't have any children here, and we totally forgot about Halloween.
No.
They knocked on the door, and we're like, "Oh, we don't have anything." And so my husband pulled out ones. He started giving ones to all the kids.
That's the house I needed to be at right here.
That's
out
an
money.
awesome husband.
When we ran out of money, we just shut the light out.
There you go. There you go. Well, I know for those of you that missed us last week, we had some exciting news, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to let Russell talk about the exciting news that Author Talk has to offer.
Okay, this is awesome. We were shocked. Mac, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about when you came on before the show was to ask you if you heard this. We are number 9 in the top 100 indie books charts, number 13 and as Fern said last week, hi James, we are number 13 for books in the United States in this. And you can get us on Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Breakers, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher so far.
Yeah, literally everywhere.
Welcome to those people that are listening to us on the podcast this week. Thank you. Tell your friends about us. And, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, we were shocked. And we're still shocked. And it's been, 2 weeks since we found out. So we are very grateful. You guys, come on over to our Facebook channel or Facebook group and join it. There's always shares and different things for authors in there and connections. And also, we would love it if you would come and celebrate with us on YouTube. You can see all of our shows from the previous 4, almost 5 years. They're all up on YouTube. So more than welcome to check him out. If you'd like to be a guest, you can always reach out. We are just an open platform. We love talking to authors. But with all that being said, Russell, you sent me some photos.
Okay, so I'm walking my dog in the park. I live in a high-rise downtown. I walk the dog across the street.
Downtown Houston. Houston.
Yes.
So I'm walking my dog. This is my dog. I'm walking my dog around the park. Everyone can see the dog, see my picture on the side. And this young girl comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder. And she said, "You and your dog look exactly alike." It's like a dog impersonation of you.
Oh my
What?
gosh, I can see it.
My dog is not that ugly.
I love it. You can kind of see it, you know? Okay.
I guess.
You can see
Anyway,
it. Oh my
it
goodness.
was funny.
I think it's because your hair is the same color.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Andy. But with all that being said, you guys, today available for pre-order is Mac Little's latest book, Daughter of Hades. So with all that being said, Sandy, we're going to kick it to you and let's get Mac talking about her latest book.
And I'm over here on Amazon looking at all these beautiful pictures of you, Mac, on your author page over here. Mac, what is your website if people want to get in touch with you or go see and find out more about you?
Okay, I'm at mac-little.com. That's MACK-little.com.
Very good. So go check it out but check out her Facebook author page. And if you don't know how to do that, go find the book and then it will give you her author page. And when you click on that, you see both of her books and then you see other pictures and then there's descriptions of the books. So, and information about her. And here's a picture of you at one of the cons that we all go to. So, yay, this is a great author page. I love this. And follow her. One of the things I love, there's a lot of things we don't like about Amazon. But one of the things I do like about Amazon is that anytime one of the authors I'm following has a new book come out, Amazon lets me know about it. So follow Mac Little, that's MACK Little, and you'll see how beautiful she is there. And her hair hasn't always been this color. So go look at the different variations.
No, her hair doesn't change colors as often as Fern's.
Well, that's true. That's true. So Matt, I know I've heard you speak before and talk about your book and been with you at conferences and stuff. So I know a little bit about the background of your books, but tell us, so this is not your first book, but this is the first book in a series. So Daughter of Hades. So before we talk about that one, let's talk about Progeny. Is that how you say it? Progeny, sorry. I knew I was going to mess that one up. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. That was your first book, and that's on Amazon. So, and then we'll talk about the book that's coming out today.
Yeah, Progeny, all of the projects that I write is trying to get away from the Black pain narrative and show the other dimensions that, Black people can have fun and have history too. So I wanted to write about vampires. I was a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I was a little disappointed by its lack of inclusivity. So I created my own Vampire Slayer and created a world surrounding her that's kind of grounded in the Abrahamic religions as a source of all the monsters and supernatural creatures. And I got a chance to explore history, and I got to explore some of the history of Africa, and that really got me going. And I want to keep that momentum or follow that path. So it led me to writing The Daughter of Hades, because here we have with The Daughter of Hades, you have a definite tie-in with the African history and the diaspora to the Americas. So yeah, Progeny actually sparked my interest in writing historical novels, because half of it is historical.
And I love that. And I love that Denny, the protagonist in your latest book, the one that's coming out, is available, as Amy said, is available today for pre-orders, and it will be live at the end of the month, November 27th, so right after Thanksgiving. So Denny is the protagonist, and Denny is a slave on a pirate ship. Is that right? And she escapes?
She is an enslaved young woman on Barbados. And what's interesting about Denny is her mother is white. She is an Irish indentured servant who married an African enslaved man. And I thought that was an interesting dynamic that I had learned about when I was researching the history about the Irish indentured and how them and the Black slaves often found community together. And so she's a mulatta. She escapes on a pirate ship and she finds the love of her life. And she also finds an extended family and brotherhood among pirates and the Africans who have escaped slavery in Jamaica, the Maroons. So she finds this brotherhood among this disenfranchised groups of people, and they all band together to protect Jenny, to rescue her, and the love that she's found with pirates.
She's kind of an adventure book too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
a pirate book. It's an adventure book.
Romance with swashbuckling pirates and. No.
Look at this cover. Thank you, Amy.
So this is the cover. We were talking about this earlier. Before we talk about the cover, though, you just said something, Mac, that made me want to correct what I said. And I love this little, it seems so little, but it makes an enormous difference. And I love the fact that they are not slaves. They are enslaved people. Yes. So I have seen that. I've seen a few authors do that. One of them that we worked with last year. And I think that's a great thing, a great note to point out, to distinguish between calling Denny a slave and her father, but to call them enslaved people. So how did you come about making that distinction?
Well, actually, I came about that distinction when I was writing this novel, and it when I was writing slave, the word calling her a slave, it just didn't seem like it encompassed who she was as an individual. It kind of limited what she was as a human being. And then I started reading there's a new way to talk about slavery. She is an enslaved woman. So now we know that she's a woman that and we can identify with her as a human being, an enslaved person. So yeah, slave just kind of limits your imagination, your understanding of who those people were back then.
I think that's awesome to point that out. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for reminding me of that, because I did know that, and I'm
still learning myself. It's still new to me too, but I like the concept.
Yeah, me too. So thank you. And Amy, now will you put the cover back up, because I do want to talk about the cover for a minute. We were talking about it earlier before the show with Mac, and so the person that designed this cover, the cover designer, is Verstant. And what is Verstant's last name?
I don't know if I can pronounce it.
I just know him as Verstant. Like that's the easiest one I can pronounce, and I am one of those. My last name is difficult, so I can.
Okay, well, we're gonna go with Verstant. Sorry, yeah. Verstant, but because I know I know it, I just can't think of it right this second. So, explain to us the cover, and then you were going to talk to us about African
Afrofuturism.
Futurism, that's right. Okay, so first tell us what that means.
Okay, so Afrofuturism is a cultural aesthetic that combines science fiction, history, and fantasy to explore the African American experience. So Okay, this is a historical novel, but we are talking about the African diaspora here with some of our characters, and I wanted that reflected in my cover. And there's an aesthetic that you see there that kind of brings in um, the history of Africa, and it ties in with the new world that they're going into, and that's what I want to capture on my cover. And I told Versant, I want to do an Afrofuturistic cover, like this. And he goes, "Oh, I can't do that." And then he goes and nails it. He comes up with this beautiful cover that has the elements of the past. I don't know if you can see, like towards the top, there's like a shadow of a symbol. It's a
I was going to ask you what that symbol is.
it means love and companionship, and it's a Nidabisi symbol from the Igbo people, and they had their own little hieroglyphic alphabet, I guess, writing system that they use. So I made sure that symbol was entered into that the concept, and then in the center you have the new world with the sailing ship. I just think he did a lovely job bringing all those ideas and concepts together. For
Yeah, I think so too. And then you have Denny on the left. That's Denny, I'm guessing. And then
Mhm.
on the right is, do you pronounce his name Lee?
Yes, Lee. Lee is an exile from China, and this is another interesting thing that I found out when I was doing my research. And an article came out recently how the Asian population of the 17th century, of that period, is invisible in most literature, most papers, most historical documents, but they were there. The Chinese, the Japanese were trading with Mexico using their silver for their currency. And there is a connection. The Asians were in South America and Central America during that time, probably before that time, before Columbus. So
That's great. So he was a Chinese exile. So he had been exiled from China then.
yeah, he's an exile from China, and I thought it would be interesting to have that population represented in the novel.
Very good, very good. Now, it says on Amazon that this is book one of the Love and Peace series. So what's coming in the future in this Love and Peace series?
Well, basically, in the first novel, I introduced several characters, and we're going to go around and focus on each of their love connections. And I'm working on book two, where Ami is one of the prominent secondary characters in Daughter of Hades. We're going to focus on her love affair with Pax. So we're just going to go around, but we're not going to leave Lee and Denny behind completely, but we're just going to shift the focus a little bit to another.
Now, so what is the name of the person for the next book?
The girl's name is Ami.
Ami.
And in her language, in Twi, it means born on Tuesday. But Pax, his name is Pax. The love interest is Pax, and his name means peace, of course. But he's French, and Ami means love to him. So that's why I get the series title, Love and Peace.
That is a good name. That's a good name, because my name has the accent grave over the first E, and in French, that's how you spell my name, is the French version, and it means love. So it's a great name. Yes,
I just thought your mother misspelled it.
No, she did not. Russell, no, I am, I always say I'm the prize child, and that's just because I'm the baby, and I can totally claim that, title.
Aren't you? Yeah, you're the baby. By then they don't care how they spell names anymore. Yeah. Well,
No,
you're like the
Russell.
ninth girl.
She gave it to me because she loved me and she knew I was different and she wanted me to be different. And that's the explanation I give myself, and I'm sticking to it. But it's a fabulous name because any name that, you know, is spelled similar like that and means love, they are just automatically my favorite character. So yes. Yes.
Mac, can I ask Mac a question?
Yes.
So, Mac, you did this journey through Scotland with Fern, right?
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
did you take at? What did you get anything out of the journey that you put in your book?
Well, basically, my journey was a pilgrimage for Outlander. I am a huge Outlander fan. I'm obsessed with the books, the show. And so that was basically my pilgrimage. And Outlander is one of the reasons I wrote Daughter of Hades, because I love the historical accuracy and the authenticity of the relationships. And I wanted to capture that when I wrote my book. And I was, I love the characters, and there's like a smidgen of representation. So I wanted to make a more diverse book. I mean, we do have African characters. We have Irish. We have, you know, Asian and all of that. But the 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 more diverse characters, more developed. I think in my book, and that's what I kind of wanted to see in Outlander. But I adore it as it is. I just want to tell a different story. One of her characters sparked my interest in Lee. I'm like, where did this character go? I want to know more about him. So I created my own character, Lee, so I can explore the Chinese character that was in Outlander.
Okay, that's awesome.
Wow.
So the whole time you were in Scotland, were you able to get Fern to actually go outside and do something?
Are you kidding? Yes, we
Because she keeps saying she won't go outside.
we hiked, we braved the Scottish cold and wet and smoked cigars outside.
Okay, so she does go outside. That's fine.
Russell.
Yes, she was intrepid. She was leading the way, actually.
Wow.
Are you going to do any kind of marketing promotions for this month for when your book comes out and is available?
We have to ask Fern about that. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure Fern, I think we all know Fern enough to know that she will do some promotions of the book.
Well,
Something up her sleeve.
yeah.
Just
No, Fern does, for sure, because Mac is going to be on the 12 Days of Page Turner. She's going to be on December 8th. And so
Good segue.
she will be featured in a bundle that Inklings is putting together and a promotion. But you will have to tune in to find out what kind of promotion will be going on for that. But like I said, Mac will be on December 8th. That was the day that the one day she had available for the 12 days. So that's the one day I can announce. So if you want to know more about it and get this book on a promotion, then December 8th is the time to do it during the 12 Days of Page Turners. But yes, Russell, to answer your question, I know the answer to that one. So yes.
Thank you, Amy.
I got you.
Amy pulled you out on that one. Right?
It's all, I can't think of anything else. I don't know what else is going on. So
I totally understand. I get it. And I was like, wait, you're on the 8th. Yes, you are.
Well, Mac, I think that's typical for an author, especially one that has a publisher like Fern or Kelly, who's on also. But you know that Fern's got you and she's going to take care of your book. And so, you know, you don't need to be thinking about anything other than the next book. So, and you're already thinking about that. So that was, how many books will be in this Love and Peace series?
I'm thinking 3 for sure, but the story could go in so many directions. But I'm just going to say 3 for sure.
Nice.
And you're going to kind of wait and see where your characters take you then.
Right, right. And my third book, I really want to focus on the LGBT relationship. So that, so you know, I want that's something I wanted to concentrate on too. So
Well,
I,
I was going to ask you about that because I saw where you said it has true to life relationships, both heterosexual and LGBT. So, so right now, book one, we're seeing the heterosexual relationship. Is that right?
yeah, we also have a minor character called Yvonne, and you know, he has been involved in a couple of same-sex relationships through the course of the book, and we're going to follow him, and hopefully the third book will focus on him. And I discovered some interesting stuff about the LGBTQ. Well, you know, homosexuality wasn't really a term in that time. There was no label for it, but I tried to describe the relationships between same-sex couples. And one interesting thing I found out was they had same-sex marriage in the 17th century, which is
Wow.
Oh,
it's called the Metellitage, and it's basically a civil union or a contract where two men can, you know, contract themselves to each other, and you know, they have all the rights of marriage that a married couple will have legally, as far as leaving their belongings behind. But sometimes you would find that a man that was involved in the Metellitage contract with another man would get married to a woman, and they would share the woman and pass the woman to the next guy if one of them died. So you
oh,
know, it was like same sex marriage.
Very interesting and things that you don't find out unless you do a lot of research, I'm sure.
Yeah, I go down a lot of rabbit holes, and that is so interesting. So that's why I say three, hopefully, but it could go in a lot of directions.
So, Matt, when you're doing, let's talk about your research. What kind of research and where do you go to research that kind of information for a fiction book?
Basically, it's a matter of going down a rabbit hole. I have an idea, and I write it out longhand, and then as I'm um, typing the story up, I have to do research on the fly.
You
But
write longhand your first draft?
my first draft is always longhand
You're an
because
old school girl.
wow. That's not something you hear like very often anymore. So that is refreshing to hear because
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to read my handwriting. So power to
I have
you.
trouble sometimes, but when I look at the blank screen to type, I just get all flustered, and I want it to look perfect on the screen when I'm writing it. And writing longhand kind of frees me up. I can just write whatever and then clean it up later when I'm typing. But what my main go-to sources is JustStore, because I have a library card. I have like free access to all the articles, and I have great historical articles on. They have great articles on everything that's peer reviewed, and
And where was that again?
just JSTOR, JSTOR, JSTOR. And with a library card, you can get remote access to all of the articles, and you can download the full text of them. Sometimes I'll go to Wikipedia because you know I'm writing a novel. I have a literary license, so even if
Right.
the information I'm not getting is completely accurate, I can I can work with it.
Nice.
That sounds like fun. I mean, the research part of it really sounds interesting to me. So, and I did look at this JSTOR. That is a digital library of academic journals, books, and primary sources. That is great. Oh, and Kelly says she used it for her research. Russell, have you ever used JSTOR?
No, but I wear out Wikipedia just because it gives you a general direction. And
Mhm.
since I write fiction also, I have pretty much the same attitude Mac does. Uh, but I have not used JSTOR. Kelly said she used it. Of course, Kelly's kind of an expert on a lot of things. She knows about some of this stuff. So she a Mac ahead of me. I understand that.
And Russell, I don't know. You may be been texting me the whole time I've been
Yeah,
talking.
time's up.
Okay, because I'll just look down and I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, Sandy, don't let him do that. You are just fine. The counter's here in the corner. You're just fine. No.
So, Mac,
worries.
I've just gotten really into finding out more about you and your books. And I think so is Mac going to come back on again when the book comes out?
Absolutely. Mac is welcome anytime.
Mac comes by every year. We love
Yes.
Yeah, but this won't be every year. This is going to be at the end of this month. So, Mac, it's been really great to find out all this information about you. And I absolutely love being with Mac at a conference. And for those of you that don't know or have never been with Mac or any of the other authors at a conference, it's a great way to get to know people and just sit. I mean, you don't have time. You don't have a lot of time, but when you do, you have nothing else to do. So you can just talk. And I love talking to her and, Andrea Barbosa, she and I have talked several times, like all day at a conference. So, Mac, this has been very, very good to hear about the books, and I can't wait to get them and read them. And so those of you that were not familiar with the enslaved person versus using the term and calling them a slave, which sounds so cruel, and yet they didn't have any choice in the matter. So anyway, thank you for bringing that up, Mac. That's a great topic. And I love all these different topics for discussion that we had. And I love Outlanders too. I think that's great.
I love it.
I've never seen it. I'm going to have to watch it. I know Fern. I know. Fern has raved about it. I need to get back on my show watching. I know. I did watch Squid Game, though. If anybody watched that, I'd be more than happy to talk about that.
Oh, my gosh. I could not watch that. I could not.
When I was watching the Saw movies and stuff, Russell, I know we're over time. I'll make this really quick. But I was watching the Saw movies. Some of those, jigsaw puzzles and stuff. I'm like, okay, I could do this. I was feeling pretty confident. And then I watched Squid Game, and I was like, I just don't have the balls to do that game. I would leave. I would no. Like, I would rather, be homeless living on the street than to participate in those games. I'm like, no, I just couldn't do it. But you guys, make sure you tune in at least on December 8th at the 12 Days of Page Turners. Mac will be on talking about all of her promotions and everything like that. So you're going to want to tune in the first 12 days of December, like I've said, or the 12 Days of Page Turners. You will get new authors every day talking about their books and what holiday specials they are running. And the best gift you can give someone this holiday season is a new book. So come hear from these amazing authors. We have between 35 and 40. I'm confirming all of those today. You're not going to want to miss that. But tonight on Through the Eyes of Authors, we'll be talking the 12 Days of Page Turners, and hopefully Brian Bearden will be on to talk about websites. Next week, we have Christine Hall talking about Lone Star Literary, so you're not going to want to miss that Monday either. But Mac, thank you so much for joining us today. We love having you on and hearing about your amazing books. So with that, I'm going to do closing statements and comments. Sandy, I'm going to kick it to you first.
It's been great. I'm so sorry, Fern. I'll be praying for you and your family and your cousin. But I do love having the opportunity to come on every now and then. So it's been great.
Russell?
Last time I was at a book conference, Sandy and Fern left for 2 hours. I never even got to talk to them. Mac and I had a great conversation, though. So it's nice to see you, Mac.
We went to lunch.
They went to a martini lunch.
Well, you guys, we hope that you have an amazing week. We can't wait to see you guys all next Monday. Happy November, everybody. And we'll be back next week. Bye, everyone.